Hello happy people, my name is Dan, and today we are going to be looking at some more GM48 Game Jam games around the theme of non-violence. All of these games are mouse controlled, which is handy because I have one of them. So let's see what we've got. Okay, so up first today we have got We the People. Now, there is music, but it's just one repetitive loop, which I've had to cut out because I sped the footage up, which means I'm going to replace it with a backing track. Basically with We the People, it's a cookie clicker-esque game in which you have to increase the crowd of your protest, the love they're spreading, and the funds you're making. And in doing so, you are going to take down Mega Super Evil Corp over there with your protest power. It's one of those where it starts off very slow, you need like $2 and then $3 and then suddenly you need $4 million. And then at the end of each day, a different force tries to stop you by either cutting your love, your money, or your people, or increasing the power of the Megacorp, and you have to continue to fight to bring them down. It's one of those where I started it with because it's cookie clicker, I think, it's just going to be a slow pace and it's not going to be too entertaining, but it really hooks you in because it's just, I think people are intrinsically hooked on the idea of counting up numbers. So after a while I was like, okay, yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. And I still lost the protest, as you can see here. Apparently having 123,000 people, not enough to bring down the world. But maybe next time, I'll have to give it another go. Okay, up next we have got SGARE. And again, with this one, no sound, no music either, so we're going to keep the backing track rolling. And again, I've sped the footage up. The reason I've done that is because this game is a slow burner. You start with nothing and you very, very slowly build yourself up to this base that you have. I'm kind of reminded a little bit of, so my boyfriend really likes playing Forge of Empires, and I've seen him play a few times. You've got the city builder aspect to it. It's obviously quite a bit more pixel retro style than that. It's a little bit like that and early SimCity. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting here, which is cool. I enjoyed it. I think the ending didn't work because you're meant to build up nukes. Not necessarily sure how that's non-violent, but you build up universities, barracks. I just realised there you can just kind of scroll endlessly at the bottom. I think maybe they plan more buildings, and they certainly can. There's a lot they can expand on this. I think this is one of those where they have very ambitious plans for a very limited amount of time, and I think there's plenty they can do should they have had more time. So it looks like it's good foundations, but it just kind of endlessly loops. You don't really get much beyond. So you're building stuff, and on the other side of the river, your opponent is also building stuff, and you're just kind of outbuilding them, I guess. You don't necessarily have much option in the way of deleting what you've already built, so once it's there, it is there, and you just kind of keep going. So hopefully they expand on that because you've got some solid foundations. You just need a bit more going on, and some sound. Get some sound. Okay, so up next we have got the Space Man Who Thinks of the Sea, and what you have to do here is read a story. It's more of a story than a game, basically. There's a spaceship, it's crashed, there's debris, there are footprints leading away from the crash, and there's a little spaceman there in the corner. There are warnings of the spaceship, warning lights, but no memory of the crash. And I clicked that a few times because I didn't know if there was going to be more to it, but no, just warning lights and no memory of the crash. So I go over to the spaceman and I talk to him, and yeah, I feel a bit bad because I didn't know if this was a game or just a story. I say just a story like that's a bad thing. It's not. It's nice to have a little interactive story. It's definitely something different for a jam. It's not something I've seen before, but I think it's one of those things where I was expecting a game and I got a story. So it threw me off a little. I was a little confused about what was going on. It's an interesting story and it has a lot of mysteriousness, and apparently it was inspired by a different story according to the description. But yeah, it's just a little bit, I probably should have read the description a little bit more going in, but to be fair, the description doesn't give me an awful lot. It just says use the mouse, click on things and read, and it's inspired by a short story called The Man Who Lost the Sea by Theodore Sturgeon. I'm just reading that again now. So yeah, fair enough. It's a story-based game, but it is more story and less game. So if you want a story, enjoy a nice story. Nothing wrong with it. But if you want a game in this game jam, you might be a little disappointed because this isn't a game. But it is an interesting story. And it's a short story, so what happens is this point, I kept clicking through wondering if there was anything else that's going to happen, and then it just ends. So you remember, you understand, as the flashing gauge makes its last pulse, you speak or cry out with joy, gazing upward triumphantly into the unknown. Very dramatic ending. And that's that. That's your story. Interesting. Okay, and finally today we have Yawn Please. First thing I noticed, actually, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but the font used is Open Dyslexic, which is very nice for dyslexic people. I don't know if that's an accessibility they considered or just a coincidence that they did. Good choice though. And in Yawn Please, what you have to do is find the pins and not yawn. And it's a very kooky little world in which strange things are happening, like that lizard creeping out. You have to try and not catch yawning, like the tiger yawning, and the person yawning, and yeah, there's a lot of yawning, and it's making me want to yawn. Yeah, it's entertaining because of just how kooky and weird, and I can't get through this voice recording without yawning, let alone playing it. So if you want a good yawn, I recommend this one. It's a fun and silly thing, and it's definitely not something I've seen before, so I enjoyed it. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, stick around and I'll see you in the next one. Until then though, I just found out, right click for scream mode. I think that's a good thing to end on, so